It's that time of the day where we like to say it's National League predictions time. I'm going to be taking every single team in the National League this season and deciding where I think they will finish. In 24th position, finishing Dwayne the Rock Bottom, I have gone with Maidenhead. It was looking like they were doomed from the start anyway, but losing Josh Kelly, it's just inevitable that they are going down like it's Valentine's Day. Josh Kelly was Maidenhead's top goal scorer last season, scoring 15 of their goals, which is going to be a massive loss for the team. They do now have Sean Mikulski, but he only has 4 National League goals in 30 appearances, so there is a severe lack of firepower in the team. The only significant signing really is Kobe Arthur from Dover last season, who was a brilliant player for them and he was vital for their midfield, but yeah, Maidenhead 24th. In 23rd place, I've decided to go for Woking. Only joking. I have actually gone for Gateshead in 23rd place, and that is mainly due to the fact of the loss of Macaulay Langstaff. He scored 28 goals in 39 appearances in the National League South, alongside Sedwin Scott, who scored 24 in 42. They've replaced him with Lewis 9, Aaron Martin, and I don't think that they are going to be good enough for the National League. Some notable signings though: Dan Jarvis from Wrexham and Tom Allen from Newcastle under 23, so I think will do well for them next season. However, that will not be enough to keep them in the National League next season. In 22nd place, I've gone with Maidstone United, and that is due to a severe lack of firepower up top. James Alabi and Solomon Smith, 2 names to be mentioned for the Maidstone front line, and between them last season in the National League South they had a combined goals of 10, so unfortunately that is not going to be enough in the National League, and they need to be hitting at least a minimum of 15 to 16 at least to be able to stay up. They do have some good players though. Jack Corley's a good centre-back and George Fowler's also a good full-back. So they do have some good players, but unfortunately will not be enough. In the last relegation spot, I have Dorking, who will be wandering back down to the National League South next season, and that is due to losing some of their key players. The most notable of those losses is Alfie Rutherford, who scored 30 and 35 appearances last season in the National League South. I mean, they've brought in Ryan Seeger from Hungerford Town, scored 27 goals last season, but they've also lost some key players, key midfielder by the name of Oldaka, who has gone to Chesterfield, and overall I don't think Dorking's squad is experienced enough to stay in the National League next season. In 20th place and surviving by the skin of their teeth is the Mighty Stones, who I believe will just about survive due to the introduction of Max Kretschmar from Woking, who was a brilliant playmaker last season, and Lewis Kinsella from Aldershot. Max Kretschmar played a key role in Woking's mid-table finish last season after scoring 13 goals in 34 appearances, alongside Lewis Kinsella, who was brilliant captain Aldershot last season too. Also us scraping by the skin of our teeth, but will be a lot safer this season, I'm sure. The most notable loss for the Mighty Stones is Josh Umara, who scored 17 goals for them last season. They've replaced him with Olamola, who only scored 1. As well as this, I think the main thing holding them back, barring the goals, is the fact that they are also a part-time club, so they're not going to be able to train constantly, work on their mistakes, etc, etc. And I think that is going to limit them. In 19th position, I've gone for newly relegated Scunthorpe United, and the main reason for this is due to the toxic atmosphere going on behind the scenes. The fans just don't even know what's going on, and they're not loving it in the slightest. They do have forwards that have experience in League 2, like Joe Nutt all over my face and Marcus Carver. However, they do lack the finishing touch when it comes to the other end of the pitch, and that is what is going to cost them vitally. They have brought in some okay-ish signings such as Elliot Whitehouse from Forest Green and Colin Daniel from Aldershot, but I don't think they have the quality to finish higher up in the league, and that is why I'm putting them 19th. In 18th position, I have gone with York, and that is because of the man, the myth, the legend, Lionel John Lewis. Lionel John Lewis! His name is a shock! The Man Mountain has 161 League 2 appearances, netting 17 times, making him one of the greatest strikers to grace the National League. As well as this, they have signed Burgess and Crooks from Grimsby alongside Alex Hurst from Port Vale, meaning that they will be a decent team. 18th place. In 17th place, I have gone with Eastleigh, and that is due to the lack of signings as well as losing most of their key players. They've lost Tyrone Barnett, who scored 8 goals for them. They lost Harry Pritchard to Barnet. They lost Miley to Southend and Sam Smart, to Halifax, meaning that they have a very weak team, and that lack of quality now throughout the team is going to show next season, and that is why I've put them so low down the table. The only somewhat notable signings are Tristan Abrams and Cisse, but they seem to have left their shooting boots in the academy. Tristan Abrams has scored 24 goals in 130 appearances in League 2, meaning that he has some experience in League 2, although I don't think it's going to be good enough for the National League. In 16th position, I've gone with Hare FC, otherwise known as Barnet. One of the most notable signings for Barnet is Harry Pritchard from Eastleigh. 32 goal contributions and 82 appearances in the National League, meaning that he has a lot of experience, and I think that he is going to reach high numbers next season. As well as this, they have signed Loza from Woking, Laurie Walker, who I believe is a brilliant keeper after his loan spell at Aldershot last season, Mason Clark, Kabamba, to name a few. But the two biggest departures are Adam Marriott and Harry Taylor, so that is why Barnet are in 16th. In 15th place, I've gone for the team from Manchester, Altrincham, and this is because they are now full-time. They've brought in James Jones, an experienced League 2 centre-back, and Josh Lundstrom, who has come from Crewe and was a vital midfielder for them last season. The reason that I've put Altrincham into 15th place is because they have lost Dan Mooney to Southend, who scored 12 goals for them last season, and they haven't replaced him at all. They have brought in Alex Samizadeh, or however you pronounce it. I'm very sorry if I've butchered that, but he is not a proven goal scorer, and that is why they are in 15th. In 14th place, I have put Yeovil Town, and my first point I'd like to make is Chris Hargreaves finally being back in management at the age of 50. It's going to be very interesting to see what he is going to be performing like after being out of management for quite a while. One thing that Yeovil struggled with last season was scoring goals, and that is highlighted by Joe Quigley, one of their main men, scoring 6 goals in 31. However, over this transfer window, they have added to their attack. They have brought in a lot of League 2 experience with Alex Fisher, 127 League 2 games and 18 goals. On top of this, they have signed Ollie Holbert, which makes them more of an attacking threat going forward. As well as this, the signings of Reckford and Johnson is going to make them a lot more defensively stable, but I've put them in 14th position. Although they have added to their attack, I'm not quite sure that they have what it takes to score the goals required to push further for a top 10 finish, although I could be proven wrong. In 13th position, I have gone for, drumroll please, Woking. As much as it pains me to say it, Darren Cyril is building something at Woking, and it is starting to look a little bit scary. Although they have lost Ini Effiong and Max Kretschmar, who both individually scored 13 goals each, they have replaced them and improved. The most notable signing for Woking is Padraig Amond, 394 League 2 games. Just take that in for a second. In that, he scored 93 goals of 33 assists, so he is going to be a massive threat going forward for Woking. They have also reinforced with Cuthbert and Sid Nelson joining at the back. However, they have had a few departures. Losing the likes of Loza and Diarra is going to be a bit of a blow for them, so a mid-table finish is on the cards. In 12th place, I have gone for the mighty Reds, finishing one spot above the Scum, aka Woking, slap bang in the middle of the table, the Aldershot, and here's why. Bringing in the likes of Joe Partington, Ini Effiong, Francis R. Marty, Tyler Cordner, Klaas, Davies, and recently today, Ryan Glover, the man, the myth, the legend, is back home. I'm backing us for a mid-table finish. We've been looking brilliant in pre-season with all the new signings gelling in with the players that are already there, such as Tommy Willard, but we have been dealt a massive blow in losing Jaden Harris to Carlisle, and we are looking very thin on numbers in midfield, so I'm very optimistic for the season ahead. Aldershot 12th. Come on the boys! In 11th place, we are taking a trip down to the coast, and I'm going with Torquay. Bringing in the likes of Aaron Jarvis from Scunthorpe, Corey Andrews from Wimbledon, who was brilliant when he was on loan at Aldershot, scoring 9 goals in 20 appearances. Brett McGavin, Kieran Evans, the list goes on and on. They are looking like a force. They have, however, lost Ben Winter and Joe Lewis, just to name a few, so they have the potential to push further on the table, but 11th spot it is for me. Now, we are getting towards the business end of the table, and in 10th position, we have gone for the Shaman. One of the biggest losses for Halifax in the transfer window was losing their manager, Pete Wild, to Barrow, and they've also taken Jamie Allen to Love Island. The biggest loss for the Shaman will be Billy Walters, who scored 17 goals for them last season and played a key spot in them pushing up the table. As well as this, losing the likes of Tyrrell Warren, Niall Maher and Tom Bradbury would be a massive blow for the Shaman. However, they have got some good additions. They have brought in the likes of Dias Aruwe and Sam Smart from Eastleigh, so it's looking like it's going to be decent for the Shaman. They've managed to keep hold of the likes of Jesse Deborah as well, Kean Spence, just to name a few. However, I feel like they overperformed for the last few seasons, and with the new manager, they will do a bit worse this season. However, I could be wrong. No, don't come at me, don't come at me. In 9th position, I have decided to go for Snoreham Wood, and here is why. Two brilliant signings are Danny Newton from Solihull and Sousa from Grimsby. Danny Newton bagging 35 contributions in 113 games in League 2. As well as this, they have brought in Danny Elliott from Boston. However, he doesn't have a lot of National League experience. One good thing for the Wood Army is being able to keep hold of key players such as Josh Rees and Tyrone Marsh. However, they have lost very vital players such as Kane Smith and Jacob Mendy to Wrexham. So 9th place is the Wood Army. In 8th position and narrowly missing out on a playoff spot, I believe, will be Bromley. Signing Adam Marriott, who scored 17 goals in 36, and adding that along to Michael Cheek, who scored 17 goals last season, is a deadly duo for the ages. As well as this, signing Callum Reynolds from Dagenham and Redbridge and keeping hold of James Vennings and other key players in the squad is going to be very vital to Bromley finishing just outside the playoffs. Bromley also have a very experienced manager in Andy Woodburn. However, I'm not quite sure that the squad will make the playoffs because they have a very small squad of only 19 players and a few key injuries, and it looks like they're out for the season. In the first playoff spot, claiming that 7th place, I believe will be the second team to be relegated into the National League last season, Oldham Athletic. Oldham were very close to staying up last season. Unfortunately for them, they were a few points from safety. Thankfully for them, they have had a new takeover and the new owners are going to start splashing the cash. So look for some more signings. One key rock that they have lost at the back is Pierre Gianni, who they have lost to Stevenage, and he has not been very well replaced. As well as this, they have lost a key midfielder in Keylord Dunn, one of the most creative players for them last season. However, with the signings of Angle, Burgess, Cooper and many more to come, I believe that they will secure a playoff spot and bat it out, but not go up. In 6th place, I've gone for a team that I do not think will be finishing in the south end of the table. It is Southend United. Bringing in the likes of Jake Hyde and Dan Mooney, who are proven goal scorers in the league, is only going to do wonders for the squad, as well as keeping Harry Cardwell and Steve Arnold. But one key player that they have lost is Sam Dalby in a swap deal to Wrexham, but shout out to the drummer. Not gonna lie, one of my favourite games from the season that has just gone was Southend at home because they had some brilliant fans, so keep it up Southend. 6th place for you. In 5th place, I have gone for a team that agonisingly missed out on the playoffs 2 years running, finishing 8th in both seasons, and that is Dagenham and Redbridge. Managing to keep hold of Marias and McCallum, who together scored 30 goals, is going to be very vital for their playoff push this season. With the introduction of King and Tavares to the squad this season, it's going to be looking very good for them. The loss of Callum Reynolds and Joey Jones is going to leave a little dent in the squad. However, I believe that they are good enough to push on. 5th place this season, they will do well in the playoffs, but not good enough to win it. 5th place, Dagenham and Redbridge. In 4th place this season, I'm going with the team that reached the playoff finals last season and agonisingly missed out after losing 2-1 to Grimsby. It's Solihull Moors. Keeping Dallas and Sabara until the start of the season was something that many fans weren't sure that they'll be able to do, but they've managed to do it, deterring off all opposition for them, and they are going to be reaping the rewards for that decision. Dallas scoring 19 goals last season and adding Josh Kelly, who scored 15 goals last season, to that attack is making it extremely deadly and one that I would not want to be facing. As well as this, signing Ben Coates, Joey Jones from Dagenham and Redbridge. The only real loss for them was Cole Hudden this season, the biggest man in the top 5 leagues, but it's not much of a loss for them, to be honest. They've still got a huge goal threat going forwards. 4th place for Solihull. In 3rd place, I'm going for a team that could potentially be pushing for the title if they can keep hold of some of their key players. It's Notts County. Adding Macaulay Langstaff and Sedwin Scott to the team, the romance of a lifetime with the likes of Ruben Rodriguez is going to be a deadly trio, and it's going to make for a brilliant team going forward. As well as this, Baldwin and Francis at the back are two very key players for the team, and I think that they are going to be vital in the Notts County 3rd place finish this season. The reason that I've decided to place Notts County in third above Solihull Moors is due to the fact that the club has been there and done it before. The fan base knows what it's like to play in the Football League, whereas Solihull quite haven't experienced that yet. However, I could look like a massive idiot and be completely wrong. In second place, the moment that some of you people watching this video have been waiting for is Hollywood FC. I am going with Wrexham. A somewhat controversial decision among a few, but I do have good reason for this. Firstly, I would just like to point out how unfair it is that Wrexham are managing to pull in players from League One and get them to play for them, and teams like us have no chance. In all seriousness, adding signings like Elliot Lee and Anthony Ford to a team full of superstars such as Davies, such as Paul Mullins, such as Ollie Palmer, it's just quite frankly disgusting. I mean, how can a team have so many good players? The reason that I've decided to put them in second place after all of that is because I'm going with my gut, and it's just the fact that they bottled it last season, so I just have a slight feeling that they're going to do it again. Coming second in the league to Stockport County and losing in the FA Trophy final to Bromley, although Ryan Reynolds did think the goal went in, 15 minutes later realised it was offside, but I just don't think they have that finishing touch quite yet to get over the line. It was an extremely tough decision, don't get me wrong, I could be very wrong, Wrexham could easily walk the league. Liam Roberts fans, don't come after me, but Wrexham in second. And last but not least, that means that my champions of the 2022-2023 Vanarama National League is Chesterfield. My first point is Paul Cook, the manager. He has been there, he has done it, he has gone through thick and thin, he has taken teams up, and he knows how to do it. My second point is Kabongo Shamanga, 24 goals in 27 appearances last season. If he didn't have that injury, then he would have gone on to do magical things, I'm sure, last season, going on to break countless National League records. So if they can keep him fit, he is one for the ages. As well as this, adding Ollie Banks and Mike Jones to a defence of Grimes and Maguire's brother, it is a team that I think are going to do well in the National League and be crowned champion. I personally believe that Chesterfield would have gone on to win the league last season had Kabongo Shamanga stayed fit last season, so this is why I am going with them to be crowned the champions this season. But that's it. That's my National League predictions for the 2022-2023 season. Let me know in the comments how much of a fraud I am, because I know there is going to be some very angry fans below. The most controversial decision of them all could be putting Aldershot, my team, into 12th place, and that is because I believe in my team. What I've been seeing in pre-season, the signings, they are looking brilliant, and I mean there's calls for the playoffs, but I'm not quite sure. But we are the dark horses for the season. I'm calling it now. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you made it this far into the video, comment Fraud Squad down below. I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And up the shots. Come on!